All right, guys, this month what we're going to do is a product review. And by product review, I mean one of the most important aspects of what our cars run on. If you think about it, you know, we always concentrate on performance, but what we do forget is that performance comes from petrol. And a lot of the times, the petrol that we've got over here is not considered to be very, very good on octane. If you think about it, you know, there are people that have done some kind of research onto the fuel that we have in our cars from the pump gas here in Bahrain. And most of the times, there have been reviews that have said that the octane level, the fuel is heavily still leaded. We've still got 92 octane running. Some people have even come and said it's 89 octane. So what we've done is we've ended up going and doing some research into finding out what kind of octane boosters are available to make your fuel burn better. You know, for your car to not have knocks, for the performance to be unleashed, for the horsepower to come out. Long story short, we ended up meeting Jamel, hardcore race enthusiast who's been doing racing in Bahrain for a very long time. And he's technically known as a guy who's very, very interested in performance. And Jamel has come up with this fantastic product that he's imported all the way from the US. And the product's called Boostane. Now it comes in a 1 liter can. And technically what this is a fuel additive. And by fuel additive, what I mean is that it is something you can pour onto your fuel tank after you've poured in your Mumtaz or you know, the 92 octane or the 89 octane as they call it. And once that's done, there is a clever little application that you can use on your Android or on your iPhone that will tell you exactly how much of the Boostane you need to put into your fuel tank. Now get this right. So what we're going to do is find out how much Boostane is required in order for you to turn your fuel from 89 octane into, guess what, 97, 98, 99, and even beyond. This really is a magic fluid. So let's find out what we're going to get in terms of horsepower once this Mercedes has been strapped on. Now, as you know, this is a V8 bi-turbo. It's C63. It's a brand new car. It's got a smart computer in it. So once we pour this in, it should have no trouble in putting out more horsepower. Okay guys, the beauty about Boostane is that it's got an application which you can download onto your Android or iPhone, as I mentioned earlier. And what you do is it gives you numerics over here. So you can actually enter the amount of fuel that you have in the car. Now, for example, in this particular car, we've got 15 gallons of fuel. So it says gallons to treat. So we're going to put in, very simply here, 15 gallons. And the starting octane, let's say Bahraini octane, or, you know, I mean, let's rate it at 89 for a worst case scenario. Go with 89 octane right here. So we'll put in, there you go, that's 89 octane. And the desired octane level, I believe that the perfect octane level for this car would be, let's say, 97. That is reasonable enough. And the current horsepower of the car. Now, what statistics have been mentioned on this car, it reads that it's about 510. So there you go. I've entered all the logistics. All I have to do is press go. When I do this, it's going to tell me exactly how much amount of Boostane I will need in order to get this car to produce 577 HP. So what we're going to do now, the next step would be to pour in 9 quarts, because that's what it says. 9 quarts of Boostane is required to treat the 15 gallons of fuel that's already into the car. And the outcome should be 577 HP. I'm looking forward to this, really. Let's see what happens next. All right, people, as I mentioned, the application said that it needs 9 quarts, which is technically the whole bottle. Of course, it was a full tank. So here it goes. Let's pour it in and see what is going to come out. I'm going to pour the whole bottle in. Okay, doesn't smell bad. All right. Okay, now the car's ready. Let's see what it can do. Okay, Majid, now we've completed the final run.
Okay. Okay.
So what can you tell us? How has the car performed? How much improvement has the car actually had in terms of performance? Really? The car is nice? I know you like Mercedes cars, so it's not a big deal.
Okay, on the baseline run, we average between 419 and 420.
Okay.
So we picked up the 419.81, just a reference point. And after we added the boosted into the tank.
The Boostane, yeah.
The Boostane into the tank, okay. We did like 3 to 4 poles just to make the car adapt.
All right.
So far the gain is pretty obvious on the screen, and basically you could see that the car gained between 12 to 15 horsepower across the board.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's a 12 and 15 WHP, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Between 12 to 15 horsepower all the way across. And it gained as much as between 15 foot-pound to 10 foot-pound, let's say 15 foot-pound overall of torque. So,
all right. So guys, technically what that means is like 425, right? Was the original.
Because I did work for Mercedes, and I do know Mercedes quite a bit. I know this car it would take a little bit more time for it to adapt. So basically, if we sat here all night doing calls over and over and over,
okay,
we might end up with I don't know, 20 horsepower maybe.
20 more.
Yeah, because you can see it on the graph that the power is kind of fluctuating, because this is where the ECU is doing its job. Like it's adding timing and taking it out just to make sure.
So it's technically learning the new fuel mixture and stuff and getting it into the system.
It's called adaptation.
Readaptation, technically. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So that is fantastic. What we've managed to get is a very good, or reasonable if you want to call it, 15 WHP more and about 18 foot-pounds of torque extra, which is very good. But as Majid says, this can get better, or this will probably get better. Our ideal target was what, 577? We started from 510. So technically we are almost about 40% there. And as time goes by, that will definitely improve. I would actually like to see if we could bring this back, let's say maybe tomorrow and stuff, and see if we can pull that off. Okay. But that would be interesting, right?
I don't really care.
Excellent. Thanks, Majid. What's the next car up?
We have a 2016 Mustang.
Okay, it's a 2016. And what kind of horsepower does it have? Is it a Cobra or is it anything special?
It's a Mustang GT. It's with a track pack.
All right.
And it's supposed to be making, I don't know what's the advertisement.
Actually, you know what? Don't tell us. Let's see what it makes over here. Then we'll find out.
It has all this new flathead V8 technology.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see what it can do in the dyno. We'll find out. Excellent, guys. Let's see what happens next.